so it's the winter time, and nothing says winter like chili. So I'm going to make my favorite chili recipe. So what we have here is a large bowl. We're making a huge, big pot of chili because we eat it all the time. So we just have this over medium-high heat. Gonna let this get a little bit warm in there. We're doing 1 pound of pork. We're gonna go ahead and brown that. We're doing 3 pounds of meat. We're doing 1 pound of pork. Go ahead and put that in there. 1 pound of chuck. I like a lot of meat in mine. So if you don't, you can also make this vegetarian, just leave out the meat. 1 pound of chuck. And then another pound of just regular, just ground beef. Just cheapy, fatty, good stuff. Go ahead and, I can open this, would be good. Let's go ahead. So now that's in there. And just start browning up nice and good. Sure doesn't burn at the bottom. You don't want that to happen. Perfect. Right, so while that is starting to get brown, we're going to chop up all of our vegetables. Smells good. So what we have here is we're going to do 3 stalks of celery. We're just cutting up pretty small. We're going to do 3 onions, 1 bell pepper, 2, 4, 6, 7 cloves of garlic, and 1 jalapeno. We're going to chop all that up, and it's going to be delicious. Oh, make sure you watch your meat. You don't want it to burn. Just up into this like that. Alright, so this is nice and brown. I'm crying because I'm chopping onions here. So what we want to do is, with a slotted spoon, get as much grease out of this as possible. Let's see all that grease. Yummy. I know it's really good, but we don't want all of it in there. We don't want a really greasy chili. We just want a nice, hearty, delicious chili. Let's go ahead and get all of this out without getting it everywhere. Alright, so I had to get a bigger bowl. I messed up. So, anyways, so now we're going to get the rest of this out. And I'm going to show you a little trick, because we don't want all of this on here. We don't want all of that fat in there. So we're going to go ahead and set this aside for a couple minutes. And I know this is really random, but I'm going to use paper towels to get out most of the grease. Now, we're just going to take our paper towels. Make sure you have a bowl. We're just going to get some of the grease out. We're only going to leave about a tablespoon or 2 in there. We don't want it really greasy. This makes it kind of, right? All right. That's good. Perfect. See? Now all I have to do is throw this away. Perfect. All right. So now we're going to add our vegetables. We have our celery. Let's turn this up just a little bit. We have some celery. We have our bell pepper chopped. We have our jalapeno. We have our onions. I need to put my garlic in. Has lots of great flavor in here. You know what? Maybe this would be easier. Just going like this. There we go. That's better. Just like that, because I'm getting it everywhere except for in the bowl. We have 2 more onions. Go ahead and stir this around a bit. We want to, the reason we're doing it in the same bowl is we want all those yummy bits at the bottom. See all those? We want all of those up. So let's go ahead and add some salt to this. Just a little bit. Just to let them sweat out. We're going to let these cook for like 10 minutes or so. We want them nice and cooked through. Let's go ahead and chop up the rest of our onions. Alright, so we added all of our vegetables in. We're just adding our garlic in here. And if you don't have one of these little garlic presses, they're great. I love it. When you want them really nice and fine, pop them in there. You don't have to chop away. Sometimes I like to do it myself. Alright, So this is the last in here, and we're going to let this cook for another couple minutes. It's starting to get nice and sautéed, but we want them a little bit more cooked through. Just a little bit. Last one. Perfect. Let's go ahead. Actually, you know what? I think that looks just about good. Yes, it does. So now, to that, we are going to add our tomato paste. And just regular old tomato paste. And what we're going to do is we're going to pincé the vegetables, which is adding the tomato paste to it and letting it cook through. Get some of that raw tomato flavor out. So we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of this. And this is also going to really nice and thicken it too. I'm going to add this to it and make sure we coat all these vegetables in it. Just like that. Smells good. Alright, so once this is all nice and coated, we're going to add some of our spices. But first, we want to let this cook down a little bit. We're going to let this cook for about 5 minutes, stirring. You don't want it burning. And then we're going to add our meat, we're going to add all of our spices, and then our beans, and all that good stuff. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes. We want to stir it constantly. So now we're going to go ahead and add all of our brown meat in there. All that goodness in there. I'm going to go ahead and stir that up with this too. Get everything nice and combined. There's big chunks of beef in there, which I like. So now that that is all mixed together, we're going to add all of our spices. We have some paprika for a little bit more heat. Oh, by the way, with the jalapeno, I left half the seeds in, and then the other half I took all the seeds and ribs out. So we're going to put some paprika in this. I'd say about 2 tablespoons, or 1.5. We're going to put some ground cumin in there, which I love. About 2 teaspoons of that. Two teaspoons of that. Now, chili powder, which makes it, right? I'm going to put lots of, take off the cap for this. We're going to put, lots of it, I guess. About 2 tablespoons, almost 3 tablespoons of that. I'm going to put some garlic powder. Some onion powder. And some salt and pepper. I'll leave off the pepper. Alright, so let's go ahead. Stir all of this together. Smells so good. I wish you could smell it. All those spices in there. This is what makes the chili. All the spices. And this isn't too hot, but if you like it spicy, you can leave all those jalapeno seeds in there. Put more paprika in there. I'm going to put a little bit more of this. Love it. Let's make it 3 tablespoons. Just like that. So now, that is in there. Ooh, it smells so good. Let's go ahead and add all of our liquids and everything, and our beans. So here we have 2 cans, 15 ounces of beans. We're going to put those in there. I don't like too many beans. We're going to use 2 big cans of whole tomatoes. This is 35 ounces. So a big can of whole tomatoes. Dump them in there and we're going to squish them around. I'm going to release lots of grape juices. Put that in there too. We're going to add some beef broth. Add some of this in here. Let's say about 2 cups in there. So now we are going to just take our spoon and just kind of macerate these tomatoes up a little bit. But I like the nice big chunks of tomatoes. We don't want whole tomatoes. So we want to chunk them up just like this. how good that looks already. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And also we're gonna add a tablespoon of sugar. Just because all of those tomatoes have the seeds in them, which makes them very bitter. So a lot of times, like with my red sauces, I like to put sugar in there, kind of counteract the bitterness. So I'm gonna add our sugar. I'm gonna keep macerating. We're gonna let this cook for about 20 minutes. When we come back, delicious homemade chili. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and just add some of our cheese on top, just like that. I like a lot of cheese on mine. Just like that. Then we are gonna add a little dollop of some sour cream. Let's get a little bit more. Just like that. And then top it off with a little bit of scallions. And there you go. Perfect for the holidays. Chili. Hope you like it.